In the vast stretches of the galaxy, countless civilizations lived under the rule of the Grand Galactic Council. They were ancient, powerful, and their commands were never questioned. Planets obeyed without hesitation. But Earth was different. To the Council, it was a small, insignificant blue planet, barely worth a glance. Its people were primitive, unorganized, and completely unaware of the universe's grand design. On Earth, life went on as usual. Cities bustled with traffic, people rushed to work, children played in the streets. Humans had no idea that something far beyond their skies was watching them. High above, in orbit, alien fleets moved silently, scanning the planet. Their massive ships gleamed under the sun, each one capable of destroying entire cities with ease. But no order had been given. Earth had been ignored, overlooked by the galaxy's most powerful beings. Then one quiet night, a strange signal crossed the solar system. It came from deep space, a pattern that no human machine could fully understand. Scientists stared at their monitors, confused and amazed. The signal pulsed like a heartbeat, glowing with a light that seemed alive. Governments tried to hide it at first, fearing panic. But whispers spread. Soon the world knew, something, or someone, was reaching for them. Among the humans, a few noticed more than just the signal. Strange phenomena began to occur. Satellites malfunctioned without reason. Power grids flickered. And in the sky, unusual lights danced above major cities, bright and unnatural. People called them meteors, but even the most experienced astronomers knew better. Something was coming, something that would change Earth forever. In a hidden facility beneath the mountains, a small group of humans worked tirelessly. They were scientists, engineers, and visionaries who had always dreamed of reaching beyond the stars. But now, their dreams were no longer just dreams, they were a matter of survival. They studied the signals, traced the origin, and discovered something astonishing. The signal was not random. It was a warning sent by an unknown force. And within its pulses lay instructions. Instructions that no human was meant to understand. Meanwhile, the Grand Galactic Council convened. Across the galaxy, their members gathered in crystal towers that floated among stars. Their voices echoed through space as they discussed the signals emanating from Earth. "It is unusual," said the first delegate, a being whose skin shimmered like liquid silver. "We have ignored this planet for centuries. Yet now, it responds." Another delegate's eyes, black as a void, narrowed. "The humans have awakened something," they said. "We must act or they may grow too strong." But not all agreed. Some saw Earth as insignificant, a small disturbance in the galaxy. Yet the first delegate's warning could not be ignored. Defiance had begun, though no one on Earth even knew it yet. Back on the planet, ordinary people continued their lives. In one city, a young engineer named Maya worked late into the night. Her screens flickered with strange codes from the signal. She traced them carefully, not knowing that she was decoding a cosmic message meant to test Earth's resolve. When she finally understood the pattern, her heart raced. It was a blueprint, a way to harness energy beyond anything humanity had ever imagined. Elsewhere, military bases noticed unusual movements in space. Satellites recorded massive objects approaching the planet from beyond the solar system. No one knew what they were, but the patterns suggested intelligence, coordination, and purpose. Panic began to ripple quietly through global leaders. Orders were given, alerts were raised, yet the scale of what was approaching remained unknown. And then, in one instant, it began. Across the sky, massive lights appeared simultaneously above every continent. Cities paused, people froze, and the world collectively looked up. The lights were not meteors, not satellites, not anything human-made. They were ships, hovering silently, casting long shadows across the earth. Each one was larger than any city, each one bristling with strange weapons and unknown technology. For a moment there was silence. Then the first signal from the fleet reached Earth. It was not spoken, nor was it written. It was a pulse, a vibration that shook the ground and resonated in every living heart. Humans felt it in their bones, a warning wrapped in power: obey, or be destroyed. But humans were not ready to obey. Something stirred deep within them, a force unknown even to themselves. Whispers of defiance passed from one mind to another. Across the globe, people stared at the lights and a strange feeling grew. It was fear, yes, but also determination. The planet that had been ignored for centuries was about to awaken. And in the shadows, Maya and her team looked at each other. They did not yet understand the full scale of what was coming. But they knew one thing: Earth had been underestimated, and now the first spark of rebellion had ignited. Above them the fleet waited. And somewhere far beyond, the council watched. The stage was set. The galaxy would soon learn that ignoring Earth had been the gravest mistake in its history. The lights above Earth did not move. They hovered, immense and silent, as if waiting for something. Across the globe, humans watched in awe and terror. Military forces scrambled jets, weapon systems activated, and leaders called emergency meetings. Yet, despite all the preparation, no one knew what the fleet would do first. In a hidden research facility beneath the mountains, Maya and her team worked frantically. The signal had grown stronger, pulsing like a heartbeat across the planet. They studied it carefully, and with each passing hour, they began to understand the strange energy patterns it carried. It was more than a warning, it was a challenge. This is impossible, whispered Dr. Hahn, a physicist who had devoted his life to studying cosmic phenomena. The energy levels here, we could never reproduce this on Earth. Yet, if we can harness it, we might just survive. Maya's eyes narrowed. We don't just survive. We fight back. Outside, the massive alien fleet began to react. Ships shifted position, their surfaces glinting with light that made Earth's night sky glow. The Council had sent scouts first, small vessels meant to assess humanity's strength. But the human signal response, though unintentional, was detected across the galaxy as a sign of defiance. On one continent, in a military command center, General Alvarez studied the incoming fleet. "They're waiting," he said, his voice tense. "They expect us to panic. But if we panic, we lose everything." His officers nodded, but fear was visible in their eyes. Humans had never faced enemies like this before. These were not just advanced civilizations. They were gods among mortals, beings who could destroy cities with a thought. Yet Earth had one advantage. The aliens had underestimated humans. They did not know the resilience, creativity, and cunning that had allowed a small species to survive countless disasters. And now, that underestimation would become their first mistake. Maya's team activated the facility's hidden power cores. Carefully, they began to manipulate the signal, converting it into a controlled energy pulse. Machines hummed, lights flickered, and the air crackled with anticipation. Outside, the fleet seemed to sense a change. A few scouts tilted as if curious. The humans were not just receiving, they were responding. As the first pulse left the Earth facility, a scout ship in orbit shuddered violently. Alarms blared across its bridge. Alien officers stared in shock as their systems faltered, unable to understand what had happened. A small, insignificant planet, long ignored, had struck first. Across the globe, word of the incident spread quickly. Social media exploded with footage of the strange energy burst. While humans debated its meaning, the Council in their distant crystal towers watched in disbelief. "They have weapons, advanced energy technology," said the first delegate. "How could this be? They were not ready for war." Another delegate, whose skin shimmered with a deep purple glow, spoke sharply. "This is dangerous. If they continue, they could disrupt the balance of the galaxy itself. We must respond immediately." But it was too late. Humanity had already begun its first act of defiance. Across Earth, hidden facilities and research stations started replicating Maya's energy pulse design. It was slow, methodical, but unstoppable. Humans were learning quickly, adapting alien science to their advantage. In orbit, one of the massive warships moved closer to Earth, intending to intimidate. But as it approached, it was met by an unexpected sight. Earth's skies erupted with controlled bursts of energy. Small, focused attacks disabled the ship's shields in seconds. Alien officers scrambled to respond, but humans anticipated their moves with remarkable speed and precision. Below, Maya and her team watched on monitors, holding their breath. Each strike, each pulse of energy was a statement. Earth would not bow. The humans were small, fragile, and yet terrifyingly clever. They had turned the galaxy's greatest strength against them. The world outside their facility was chaos. People fled cities in panic, but some watched with awe as the sky burned with strange energy. Humanity had awakened something inside themselves, a courage they had never known, a unity born from fear. And as the night wore on, whispers began to circulate. Perhaps Earth was not as weak as everyone believed. High above, the Council argued. "We underestimated them," said one delegate, their voice trembling. "Their intelligence, their courage, it is unlike anything we have seen." But even as the Council debated, the humans continued. Every energy pulse, every calculated strike sent a message to the galaxy. Do not ignore us. Do not command us. Or face the consequences. As dawn approached, the first major conflict began. A scout fleet hovered near the equator ready to strike. But before it could fire, A coordinated human counterattack disabled their weapons. Ships tilted, alarms rang, and panic spread across the alien bridge. Earth had defended itself and in doing so had sent the first real shockwave through the galaxy. In the aftermath, humanity looked at each other with a mixture of fear and pride. They had done the impossible. They had defied the galaxy's orders. But everyone knew this was only the beginning. The Grand Galactic Council would not take this lightly. A full-scale retaliation was inevitable. And somewhere far beyond the stars, a voice whispered among the council chambers, "Earth has awakened. The galaxy will never be the same again." The stage was set. Humanity had taken its first step into the vast, dangerous, and unpredictable universe. The war for survival, and for recognition, was only beginning. The shock of humanity's defiance rippled across the galaxy. The Grand Galactic Council had never encountered a planet that dared to fight back, let alone strike first. Within the Council's crystal towers, tension filled the air. Delegates argued heatedly, their voices echoing through the void of space. "They must be stopped immediately," demanded the first delegate, its skin flickering silver in anger. "Their actions threaten the order of the galaxy. Every system will see their defiance as an example. We cannot allow it." "But they are primitive," countered another delegate whose eyes glowed darkly. "Surely we can crush them before they grow stronger. We only need one decisive strike." Yet even the delegates knew that a direct attack would not be simple. The humans had proven cunning and adaptability. Their first pulse of energy had crippled an entire scout fleet. Every attempt to predict human behavior had failed. They had underestimated a species capable of unimaginable cleverness. On Earth, the humans felt the weight of what they had begun. Across cities and research facilities, engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to replicate Maya's energy pulses. Every pulse, every strike was carefully calculated to send a message to the galaxy. Earth would not bow. Military leaders coordinated with scientists, blending human ingenuity with technology barely understood by its creators. Stealth ships and hidden weapon systems were deployed across the planet, all designed to strike at the alien fleet should it attack. Humans were no longer just defending, they were planning a full-scale counteroffensive. Meanwhile, the alien fleet regrouped in orbit. Massive warships loomed above the Earth, their hulls bristling with unknown weaponry. From inside the command bridge of the flagship, alien officers studied Earth's movements, struggling to understand the human speed and strategy. "They adapt too quickly," said one officer, fear creeping into its voice. "They learn from every action we take. It is unnatural." On Earth, Maya and her team worked in shifts, monitoring the skies and decoding every signal from the alien fleet. They discovered something extraordinary. The aliens had a pattern, a predictable sequence in their movements. If humans could anticipate the next step, they could strike with precision, turning the galaxy's strength against it. The first real offensive began under the cover of night. Human stealth ships emerged from hidden orbital platforms and launched a series of energy pulses at the alien scouts. The attacks were not meant to destroy entirely but to disable key systems. Ships were thrown off course, communications jammed, and panic spread through the alien ranks. For the first time, the humans had turned the tables. Back on Earth, ordinary citizens could see the skies alight with strange energy bursts. Some hid in fear, while others watched in awe, unable to comprehend the scale of what their species had just achieved. Across continents, whispers of rebellion spread. Earth fights back. Earth is alive. Earth is no longer ignored. In orbit, the alien command struggled to maintain control. "They are clever, yes," admitted a purple-skinned delegate, voice trembling. "But this is only the beginning. If we respond with full force, they cannot survive." Yet the humans had a secret weapon, something the galaxy had never imagined. Deep within the Earth's core, Maya's team had discovered an ancient energy source, buried for millennia. This energy was raw, powerful, and potentially unstoppable. But harnessing it would be dangerous. Misuse could destroy Earth itself. "Are we ready for this?" Maya asked quietly, looking at her team. Dr. Han nodded. "We have no choice. If the galaxy strikes us down, we will not have a future. But with this, we might just change the course of history." As the alien fleet prepared to launch a full-scale attack, the humans activated a series of energy bursts, not enough to destroy but enough to warn. Ships tilted, systems flickered, and alarms blared across alien bridges. The galaxy watched in disbelief as Earth defended itself once again. And then the first true test arrived. A massive warship, the size of a small moon, descended toward Earth. Its weapons glowed ominously, ready to annihilate everything in sight. But Maya's team had predicted this moment. Hidden energy cannons fired precise pulses, striking the ship's shields repeatedly. The vessel shook, systems failed, and the humans watched as the alien officers struggled to regain control. The first human victory had been small, tactical, but it sent a message. Earth would not submit. Earth had power, strategy, and courage the galaxy had never seen. As dawn broke across the planet, humanity looked up at the sky with new hope. The world had survived the first strike. Humans had fought back and won small victories. But everyone knew that the Council would not give up easily. A greater conflict loomed, one that could either end in destruction or in humanity's rise among the stars. And far beyond, in the glittering towers of the Council, the first delegate whispered, "Earth has awakened. Prepare the full force. We cannot ignore them any longer." The galaxy had learned a dangerous truth. Humans were no longer a minor species. The world had begun its revenge, and the fires of defiance were only growing stronger. The world held its breath. For months, humans had fought with courage and cunning, striking the alien scouts, defending cities, and proving that Earth would not bow. But now a new stage had arrived. Deep beneath the surface, in hidden facilities powered by ancient energy, Maya and her team prepared Earth's ultimate weapon, a force that could change the balance of the galaxy forever. The weapon was unlike anything humans had ever seen. It was massive, drawing energy from the planet itself, pulsing with raw power. Machines hummed, lights flickered, and the air vibrated with anticipation. Maya looked at her team. "Once we activate it, there is no turning back," she said. Dr. Han nodded. "We have calculated the risks. If this works, the galaxy will never see Earth the same way again. But if we fail, well, failure is not an option." Outside, the alien fleet sensed the change. Ships hovered closer, scanning Earth with a mixture of caution and confusion. Their weapons were ready, their shields at maximum, but they had no idea what humanity was about to unleash. The countdown began. Across the planet, hidden bunkers and energy facilities synchronized. Humanity held together, every pulse, every spark focused on one purpose: survival and defiance. Then, with a blinding flash, the weapon activated. The sky above Earth erupted in waves of energy. Bright streams shot into orbit, twisting and bending in colors no human had names for. Alien scouts were thrown off course, their sensors overwhelmed. Massive warships tilted, struggling to maintain formation. For the first time, humans had unleashed power on a cosmic scale. Cities watched in awe. People poured into the streets, staring at the sky as energy streaks lit the heavens. Some hid in fear, unsure if Earth would survive the reaction. But the beauty and terror of the event left everyone breathless. The planet that had once been ignored was now impossible to overlook. In orbit, alien officers scrambled. "They have activated the planet's core," one shouted. "The energy, it's uncontrollable." But the humans had not acted recklessly. Every pulse was calculated, every stream of energy directed. Maya and her team controlled the weapon with precision, aiming not to destroy Earth but to demonstrate humanity's strength. Alien ships were damaged, systems disabled, and their confidence shattered. Across the galaxy, the Council watched in shock. "Impossible," whispered a delegate. "A primitive species, harnessing planetary energy. They have defied everything we knew about survival." Yet the spectacle in the sky was only part of Earth's strategy. Hidden energy nodes across the planet sent synchronized pulses, targeting alien warships' weak points. Shields failed, engines stalled, and panic spread like wildfire. Humanity had turned its planet itself into a weapon, without destroying life, but showing unstoppable power. On the ground, Maya and her team monitored every reaction. "They're retreating from the outer edges," Dr. Han said. "The weapon is effective. But the main fleet is still out there. We must be ready for them." The humans had proved one thing: they were not to be underestimated. Every alien vessel now knew that Earth was not a passive planet, not a simple target. It was alive, dangerous, and clever. And humanity had only begun to awaken its full potential. As the first day of the energy activation ended, a hush fell over the planet. Humans gazed at the sky, still glowing faintly from the unleashed power. Maya looked at her team. "We've started something the galaxy cannot ignore," she said. "Far beyond," the Council argued. "We cannot leave them unchecked," said the first delegate. "Earth has ignited the heavens. It is time for a decisive strike. Prepare the main fleet." But even as the Council mobilized, humans had gained a new advantage. Their knowledge of the alien patterns, combined with the unleashed planetary energy, meant that the next clash would be even more unpredictable. And somewhere in orbit, a small human stealth ship observed the alien fleet retreat. Its pilot whispered to the comms, "They fear us, and they should." Earth had ignited the heavens. The galaxy had seen its power. And for the first time, humanity knew that it could challenge the forces that had ruled the stars for eons. The stage was set for the final clashes. The galaxy would respond with full force, but Earth was no longer the small, overlooked planet it once had been. Humanity had awakened, and the war for survival, respect, and dominance in the stars was only beginning. The galaxy trembled. News of Earth's unleashed energy had spread across the stars. The Grand Galactic Council had no choice. Their full fleet, the largest ever assembled, moved toward Earth with relentless speed. Massive warships, bristling with energy weapons, filled the void of space like a moving fortress. Every planet in the galaxy watched, knowing that the coming battle would change history forever. On Earth, humans prepared. Maya and her team had spent months analyzing the alien patterns, learning their strategies and refining the planet's defenses. Hidden satellites and orbital weapons were synchronized. Every city was a potential battleground, every mountain a fortress. Humanity's courage and ingenuity were their greatest weapons. The first wave of alien ships arrived just before dawn. The skies above Earth were filled with enormous vessels, each one dwarfing human cities. Energy beams flared, shields shimmered, and alarms rang across human command centers. The first shots were fired. Humans had anticipated this. Small, agile stealth ships darted through the alien fleet, targeting weak points in shields and engines. Energy pulses from hidden planetary weapons disabled several warships almost instantly. The aliens were stunned. Earth was not just defending, it was striking back with precision and intelligence. The battle spread across the sky. Cities on Earth trembled as energy beams flashed overhead, but humans had evacuated key areas and reinforced defenses. Civilian eyes watched from a distance, awe and fear mixing in equal measure. This was no ordinary war. It was the awakening of a species that had been underestimated for centuries. In orbit, Maya coordinated attacks from the command hub. "Target the lead ship," she ordered. "We hit them simultaneously on both sides. Focus on their engines first." Dr. Han's fingers flew across the console. "They're faster than predicted, but we can use their momentum against them." And then it happened. Using the alien fleet's own energy patterns, humans redirected beams back at their ships. Explosions rocked the lead warship. Systems failed. Panic spread. The alien commanders had never encountered such cunning, such adaptability. On the ground, military leaders saw their plans unfolding perfectly. Humans had turned their planet itself into a weapon, and now, with every successful strike, morale soared. Humanity's unity and courage were on full display. Yet the aliens were not defeated. Their commanders adapted, forming new strategies, flanking human positions in orbit and on the ground. The battle became more intense. Explosions lit the skies, ships collided, and the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Every second was a struggle between overwhelming power and cunning ingenuity. Amidst the chaos, an unexpected ally appeared. A small alien ship, cloaked and unseen by most of the fleet, joined Earth's side. Its pilot, a former council officer who had long questioned the treatment of humans, guided them toward weak points in the enemy fleet. The humans had gained a new advantage, inside knowledge of the alien strategy. "This changes everything," whispered Maya. The final push began. Humans used every trick, every weapon, every ounce of courage. Energy pulses lit the heavens, stealth ships struck repeatedly, and the planet itself radiated power. Alien warships faltered, their once perfect formation breaking apart under relentless human attacks. The climax approached as the flagship of the alien fleet, a moon-sized vessel bristling with weapons, moved toward Earth's core defenses. Its intent was clear: crush humanity's heart in one strike. But humans were ready. Using the energy weapon hidden beneath the mountains, Maya fired a controlled, massive pulse directly at the flagship. The ship shuddered, systems failed, and it drifted uncontrollably into space. Cheers erupted in hidden command centers across Earth. Humanity had not only survived, they had struck a decisive blow. The alien fleet, though still formidable, began retreating. For the first time, humans had won a victory against the galaxy's most powerful forces. As calm settled, Earth's people looked to the sky with a mixture of awe, relief, and pride. Humanity had fought the impossible battle and proved its worth. But the war was not truly over. The Grand Galactic Council would regroup. Their delegates would rethink strategies, plan retaliations, and prepare for the day they would challenge Earth again. Humanity had made its mark, but the galaxy was vast and the future uncertain. In the shadows of orbit, Maya gazed at the stars. "They may come again," she said quietly, "but we will be ready. Humanity has awakened, and the universe will never underestimate us again." And far beyond, the first delegate of the council spoke to the others, their voice trembling with a mix of fear and respect. "Earth has risen. The galaxy will never be the same." The battle was over. Humanity had survived, had struck back, and had carved its name among the stars. But the journey, the struggle, and the wars to come would shape the destiny of a species that refused to be ignored. The stars were quiet again. The massive alien fleet had retreated, leaving behind silence and wreckage. For the first time in centuries, Earth had survived an encounter with the Grand Galactic Council's full might, and not just survived but fought back with astonishing success. Across the planet, humans emerged from shelters, research facilities, and command centers, blinking in the bright light of dawn. Cities bore the marks of battle, scorch marks in the sky, temporary power outages, and scattered debris from small orbital strikes. But Earth itself had endured. Humanity had defended its home, and in doing so, had awakened something far greater, the realization of its own potential. In the hidden mountain facility, Maya and her team stood silently, watching the aftermath unfold on massive screens. The energy weapon they had activated pulsed faintly, its power slowly returning to dormancy. For months they had worked in secret, unsure whether their actions would save or destroy the planet. Now, as the dust settled, relief washed over them. "We did it," Dr. Han whispered, voice barely audible. "We actually did it." Maya shook her head slowly. "No, they did it. We did it. Humanity, we have changed everything." Outside, ordinary humans witnessed the first signs of a new era. Across continents, communication systems that had been jammed by the alien fleet were restored. Satellites were repaired. People began to rebuild, sharing stories of courage, determination, and unity. The world had been united in fear, yet also in strength, and that strength had saved them all. Yet far beyond the Earth, in the glittering halls of the Grand Galactic Council, debate raged. Delegates argued bitterly over what had just occurred. Some called for immediate retaliation, sending entire fleets to destroy the planet once and for all. Others paused, struck by the bravery, ingenuity, and cunning of the humans. "They are no longer insignificant," the first delegate said, its silver skin glimmering under the starlight. "They have proven they can challenge even our greatest forces. If we strike now, we risk losing more than we gain." A shadow of doubt passed through the council chambers. Humanity had awakened a force the galaxy had not seen in eons. A species capable of surviving impossible odds, turning disadvantage into strategy, and defying rulers who believed themselves invincible. Back on Earth, Maya's team began cataloging the lessons of the battle. Every energy pulse, every alien tactic, every human strategy would become part of a growing knowledge base. Humanity was no longer ignorant of the cosmos. It was learning, adapting, and preparing for the future. And yet, even in victory, caution remained. The Council would not forget this defeat. Humanity knew that more powerful fleets could return, more advanced enemies might come. But for the first time, humans were not afraid. They had proven that courage, ingenuity, and unity could match even the greatest power in the galaxy. In the skies above, strange lights continued to flicker faintly, remnants of the planetary energy weapon. Citizens gazed up, wondering if the battles were truly over. Scientists and engineers studied the phenomenon, excited by the new technology and energy sources now available. The future was uncertain but full of potential. Among the humans, a small group of elite pilots and strategists prepared for what might come next. Hidden ships were readied, secret weapons upgraded, and communication networks strengthened. Earth was no longer just a planet, it had become a fortress, a beacon of resistance, and a rising power in the galaxy. And in the shadows of the cosmos, whispers traveled faster than light. Other alien civilizations, long silent and watching, had taken notice. Some began to reconsider their position. Others grew wary, unsure whether they should ally with humans or challenge them. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted. Maya looked up at the sky from the mountain facility, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. "We've survived the first war," she said. "But this is just the beginning. The galaxy is vast, full of threats and opportunities." Dr. Han placed a hand on her shoulder. "Then we will face it together. Humanity has proven it can fight. Now it's time to grow, explore, and take its place among the stars." And somewhere far beyond, the first delegate of the council spoke to the others, their voice trembling with a mix of fear, respect, and disbelief. Earth has risen. Prepare yourselves, the galaxy will never be the same. As Earth rebuilt and humans celebrated their first true victory, the universe seemed to hold its breath. The fires of rebellion, courage, and ingenuity had been ignited. And far away in the dark corners of space, unknown eyes watched the planet that had defied the impossible. A new era was beginning, a time when humanity was no longer the ignored species, but a rising force, capable of shaping the destiny of the galaxy. The battle was over. The war had been won for now. But the adventure, the challenges, and the story of humanity among the stars was only beginning.